Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Wave, you're the guy who said that Drees is the guy that's got to break the curse, right? You said that. So what do you think?
He has to break it. And then I immediately said, well, I'm not going to predict that he's going to. But I want to see him do it, and then I'm going to be happy about it. I think.
Fair enough.
Some convoluted mess of ambiguity like that. I'm not quite sure. But either way, the story for this match for me is Stromboli. Who is this team?
Yeah.
How well can they do? Can they take down one of the biggest teams in North America? With or without a sub, G2, a staple of North American Rocket League.
Well, Alraz likely the most well-known player on Stromboli. Might remember him from Rival Series 7 and 8 play-ins, and they were right on the cusp of qualifying, so he's been around the top for a little bit now, but he's definitely got some great teammates over in Kinsey and Shadow, no doubt.
Well, let's see how they do in game number 1 here. Stromboli in the orange, G2 in the blue. Alrez out. Here's JNaps. Trying, but Shadow will deny him and then fall on his own touch, pick up the midfield boost. Kinsey bailing on this play before it happens. He'll go to the far side. Alraz will try to trap this in the corner, but they lose the challenges, so Chicago and JNaps now back down the field. Shadow to the outside. Kinsey's going to try here, but countered by JNaps in the corner, who's winning every challenge he goes into. Dria's under 1. And now to try and set up Chicago. Chicago too far forward on the pass.
Nice.
Drias will turn this one back in for Chicago once more. Gets the bump on him. JNaps isn't going to miss. That's G2's first goal.
The key block here is actually this Drias touch right at the start of the replay. It just stops all that momentum from Stromboli back the other way. And how about you also combine it with a little Chicago bump, make it easy for JNaps.
3:15 on the clock, and G2 with their lead. Game number 1. Chicago to the outside. JNaps now. Over 1. Kinsey back down, and Drias will try to push this out. There's Chicago with another play. Alraz makes the save on the ground. JNaps in the corner to try and set up his teammates, but Drias closes on it a little bit too slowly, and here comes Stromboli.
Ooh, Chicago. Oh, what a clear. Kinsey in an awkward spot. Drees stretching. And Shadow, that is the only good touch in that scenario. It's going to put Stromboli in an awkward spot here for a little bit trying to break out, but better that than the alternative.
Approach halftime. So far, it's no shots for Stromboli. 6 saves. Team has been trapped in their third. They've had moments of getting into the blue, but nothing that's turned into offensive pressure. This game has been all G2, despite the close scoreline. Alraz on the edge. JNaps in Chicago. Looking for Drees. Through 1. Oh, looking for the second one. Kinsey will beat him.
Ooh, awkward. This is really G2's wheelhouse right now. Some chaotic defenders on the other side of the pitch, all diving into everything, and finally, a little bit of extra room. Nets Chicago a scoring chance, and they're going to put that one through.
It's literally a wheelhouse, too. They're just driving in circles, just one touch of the ball after the other. And eventually the shots go in there off of the defender. 2-0 G2. Stromboli yet to find a shot. As that one will finally register. It makes its way into the box, and Drees will handle it no problem. Chicago, loft to the midfield. 2 players commit from Stromboli, but they get an excellent, long, booming clear out of it. We'll get an opportunity to try and push this one into the box out of the corner. Chicago up against Alraz. Goes out, and Kinsey will send it to the backboard. The Shadow dumps this one into the box. Drees picks it up. There's nobody to shoot from Stromboli. No Kinsey. Back in the midfield, outfield pass to Drees, sends it to the backboard, chases it down himself, looking to make a statement here in this game. Doesn't quite find the shot just yet. He'll have more opportunities.
Liking his Drees, I should be specific. He's really fitting quite smoothly into the rotation. Oh, well, here he gets caught out.
What happened here? What is this, you see?
So Drees, not a bad touch. But Shadow, he's just in the perfect place, and it's actually JNaps as well. JNaps is off thinking he could grab boost in the opposite corner at the same time. I don't think anyone on G2 thought they were actually going to be in any trouble there.
Yeah, I think it was a complete breakdown in communication. I think JNaps thought somebody was in net. It was just like, cool, I'll just go to get boost, and there just was not anybody in net. So completely open goal. And Stromboli will take their first goal here, cut it down to a 1-goal deficit. As G2 now playing tighter defense. Alrez out to his teammate Kinsey. Now Kinsey now here. Shadow wanting to push this one, but JNaps giving him the run around and then backing off the ball. Ooh. Slow play here is G2 seemingly happy just to kind of play some ping pong. Just let this one bounce around. Just don't give Stromboli any meaningful positioning.
Stromboli, don't give him too many good opportunities, I'd agree, but right now they got a pretty strong position on the pitch on the right side of the field with no time left and smart.
Just don't
look at Drees in the corner. He was like, yeah, I'm going to pump this one, man. And just let it bounce.
I love the should we keep the ball up at 0 seconds? No, win the game. Just win. Just don't even mess around with that stuff. It's game number 1 gonna go to G2 here. Stromboli gonna look to bounce back in game number 2, but yeah, this one was really the G2 seemed to be. It was an interesting combination of G2's controlling the game and also keeping it very slow. And just, we'll just kind of boom the ball around. We'll just slowly work the ball into your half and then eventually kind of get our wheelhouse going of just taking shots, just taking pot shots from midfield. We know we can win these challenges. Eventually the goals go in and then we just turtled up and didn't give you anything.
Yeah, that's really what you got to be worried about from Stromboli's perspective going into game 2, right? Because you could see that defense from Stromboli here in those clips is, I mean, it's not bad, right? It's getting the saves, but it is really diving. You're going to pull a lot of people out of position. So while it is effective in the short term, you know, you've got to consider the fact that G2's not done with you just yet on offense, and you've got to find a way to find that consistency and trust on the defensive half for Stromboli if they want to be successful long term, not just against G2, but throughout the rest of this tournament and even further beyond, successful as a team as a whole.
Kinsey tries to win this challenge. This one bouncing. Chicago looked for the bump on Shadow, but Shadow took to the sky before he could find anything. And Stromboli doing a good job winning some key challenges and breaking up some pitch development touches from G2. But yet to really start developing the pitch themselves. Just more just playing keep damage control here, and the infield pass from G2 is going to be enough. Chicago able to put it in.
This was actually pretty well defended, to be honest, from Stromboli. It's just Chicago got such a perfect shot on net there. Made sure to get that headlight on the outside of that ball to keep it towards the right side of that net, and more importantly, keeping it flat, because they had a guy coming out to meet him all the way. So that's just great shooting from Chicago.
G2 will take the first lead of game 2. Kinsey's touch goes dangerous, and it's all nearly punished. No, it will. Oh, so close. Drees on the follow-up. Puts it up for 90. And ultimately, the touch will be punished. 2-0 G2.
Now, there you go. There's, again, a nice touch from JNaps and Kinsey. That's the only touch available, and everyone else was still recovering from the previous opportunities, and that's what we were talking about. You need to find that consistency on defense, get the stronger clears, or ideally not have that ball just be uncontested and almost just turned in above your net, to where it puts you in such a compromised position. Shadow
dribbles into his corner, wins another challenge, gets a bump to open up some space, but nobody there from the rest of his team. Drees in Chicago. Get this one out. Chicago looking for a crazy shot out of the corner. Shadow will cover it up. Here's Drees now in. Can't touch it as Shadow closes on the ball again. Kinsey now to the outside. Shadow, pass one. JNaps and Drees to push this one in front of the box. JNaps will come back to chase this one down. And gets demolished, but not before putting the ball into the corner. Drees to close on this, gets a demolition on Shadow. Trading demolitions here. Shadow getting 2 players out of it. Chicago looking for Shadow on the far side. Can JNaps just double tap this one in off the backboard? No, Shadow got up in time. Weren't able to find the bump on him to open up the door for goal number 3.
There's one thing you can say about G2's challenge game. Even if they don't hit the ball, they pretty much always smash the dude right behind them. Runaway ball behind JNaps, thankfully offline. Lead will stay at 2, and That actually might have been Stromboli's best chance yet.
2:45 on the clock. Here's JNaps. Pushing it midfield, Alraz with the stop. Chicago now looking for JNaps, but JNaps bumped on the backboard. Kinsey will look to take this one down on himself. And Alraz is crashing the box here, but JNaps will get in the way. Chicago, slow challenge here. Shadow doing an excellent job buying time for his team to get back around after that offensive drive, and they'll get another opportunity because of it here. Here's a pass out to Alraz, blocked at the point of contact. Shadow's shot also blocked on the follow-up. Stromboli putting excellent pressure here on the net, but constantly running into this blue wall.
It's the hard part. You're good enough to win the fight at the midfield line occasionally, but don't quite have the command over on the offensive side, that firepower to circle through, hold that midfield boost, maybe steal a corner or two, get a little physical, or outplay somebody. That's really where Stromboli's coming up short on the offensive side.
Can say to Shadow, Chicago, creating chaos, and now just a pile of Stromboli players. Alraz will disconnect from the rest of his team, a demolition on to a Stromboli player. Keeping G2 on offense. Chicago looks for the pass out. JNaps will quickly adjust for this one. Looks for Chicago in the corner. Now he's going to have to chase it down himself. Chicago backed out. JNaps, what a pinch off the ceiling. Into the box. Alraz doesn't make contact. Dree's up for it, and Shadow displaying second touch. Both players will fake each other off of it. Now Chicago. The dribble across the field. Now sent high. JNaps. Out to Kinsey. Drees onto the backboard. Shadow's there, but Drees closed on it. Now JNaps with a shot on goal. Puts it to the goal. And now Alraz gets the save off the ground. Well grounded and immediately reads it back up into it. Alraz gets the save.
Feeling like G2, tell me if this is what you feel like, Wave. If G2's kind of just like, yeah, we'll see if that works when they're on offense, right?
They seem to be doing the age-old strategy of let's just shoot on target and just eventually they won't save it. And so far, 2 times they've been right. Can say, and when you have space to do that, though, it's you are in a very comfortable place. As Drees gets a block on an infield pass. Stromboli with a good look, but nothing to show for it. Chicago wins an excellent challenge against Alraz. Now Drees through one. JNaps in the midfield. He's going to reach for this, and Alraz will cover him up. 10 seconds left, though. Chicago keeping the ball away. As long as the clock hits 0, this will be game over, and a 2-0 for G2, 1 away from securing the match. As the clock expires, will be just that. Stromboli putting up a good effort 2 games in a row, but just not able to match the pace and offensive ferociousness of G2.
I just want to point out that last jump from JNaps to try and help that goal scoring attempt, if you're looking for what a confident team in Rocket League looks like, when the ball is above the opponent's net, pretty much at the top right next to the ceiling, and you still jump as if you think you're going to score a goal and you don't care if you hang Chicago out to dry on a potential counterattack, you know you're feeling good. It's just like, yeah, I'll be there. I don't care.
Fine. We'll be just fine, right? And props to, I think that also is a wonderful testament to how much they are trusting Drees at this point. If JNaps is willing to go for that, knowing that the third man is relatively new to the roster, that he's fitting in well enough to do that at this point. This is a scary G2 lineup here, and Stromboli absolutely has their hands full at this point. They have to get the reverse sweep if they want to stay alive here in this part of the knockout gauntlet. But this is the beginning of it. Game 3. Shadow bumped off the ball. Tons of space given to Drees. We'll just blast it to the backboard. Alraz trying here, Chicago. Oh, there's the stop. JNaps with one more to push there. Kinsey gets the block and look for the pass. Actually just gets the shot. No, Chicago. And JNaps not quite able to push it between the posts. And finally, Stromboli will get an opportunity to drive out, but Drees immediately pushes him back in.
Oops. And everyone from G2 immediately turned around. They're like, oh, he missed. Oh, Kinsey, nope. Wait, what?
A mistake from G2, but unpunished by Stromboli.
I really don't think G2's approach to the offense, while it is, it's kind of like drinking water when there's something far more, flavorful right next to you. It's really just like punch the ball towards the wall and see if they miss a clear, because That's how good G2 feels. It's like, look, if we just keep doing that, they're going to mess up. Like, it's fine. And that's exactly what you brought up last game.
Yeah, and I think it makes it makes your rotations so much simpler. If just every time you have the ball, you're like, let's just take the shot I have, and then we'll focus on making sure we're staying clean on defense. Simple offenses make for simple defenses, but no, they get all pushed off to the side. JNAPS is turned around in goal, and Stromboli will take the lead.
Yeah, they actually had a shot to put one in the net before Chicago could even rotate back there because I forget who it was on Stromboli. Didn't catch the name tag, but they got out in front of a G2 clear and ripped one off that post. And the follow through on the other side just did not work out G2's way either. And, well, it doesn't matter. They get it right back. Drees able to just poke one straight through a tiny, tiny hole.
She gets the pinch from Chicago in the corner. Drees well placed over the top of the inbound defender who is airborne to try and stop him. Gets it past him and finds the slot in the goal that was available. And they do immediately equalize. They look for the sweep on Stromboli here. They've got quite a bit more work to do, but the hardest part, well, I would say the hardest part is in the third game, but the beginning, getting the first two games already done. JNAP's now above the goal. Chicago going to try and close on this one. Kinsey gets it away. Again, yeah, another one of those moments of, this doesn't look like much of a shot, but well, let's just see what happens.
You know, it's literally it's a jump from Chicago on the off chance that they miss the ball, right? It's like, okay, if they miss that, I'm scoring, and
which is kind of maximum disrespect.
Pick one off, and you're right. It's I'm not gonna say it's disrespect. It's just not particularly risk averse, right? They're feeling that safe out in the midfield or on defense that they feel like they can take extra risks.
Well, if you're positioning for your opponent's mistakes, assuming, oh, he'll miss this, so I'm going to be over here for that, or I'm going to jump for this because he'll probably miss it. It does start to border on the disrespectful.
Recklessness.
Yeah, and here a wonderful play in the midfield to give them the lead. G2 now up 2-1 in the series. Drees gets a past one. Soft play under another. Alraz gets just enough of a bumper onto that to get it away from his goal, but they have to play more defense here as the pressure comes back in. JNAP's through two. Shadow with a soft touch. Chicago's up for it and gets a pass. Kinsey 3-1 G2.
Yeah, you can see Shadow's positioning here out just past the post because he thinks Alraz is going to win that ball, and as soon as JNAP's gets the second piece of it, he knows he's in damage control mode, but kind of gets that weak flip because his positioning is too far forward. And Chicago, he made sure of it, drilled it all the way to the back post. Didn't even think about just beating the defender, just give him no chance.
2:20 on the clock. And Stromboli with quite the mountain to climb. Got to find 3 goals here without allowing any more in game 3 just to stay alive in the series. Loser of the series is not done, but you know you want to keep that extra life. Disqualified tomorrow in 1 series. JNAPS trying to get it through one. Here's Jill. Alraz gets it in. Okay. They put it through and they close the lead to 1.
A little problem there on the G2 defense. Chicago and Drees both kind of in that same place because Drees doesn't really know where to position himself because he's kind of half rotated in towards the middle of the net. He's not positioned at that back post, so his shortest route back to in position is to go near side, and that just leaves the complete back edge of the net open for Alraz to sweep through on a nice setup from his teammate.
Big commitment on defense from Stromboli here on the kickoff. Alraz will gain control, push it into the blue. Chicago's closing on this with Drees setting up in goal now. JNAPS out of the goal to the outside. JNAPS off the wall. Here's Chicago to crank it to the goal. Shadow makes a stop. Drees trying to close on this. Gets it through 1. Shadow with just enough of a touch to put it over the top of Drees. And then Shadow winning another one against JNAPS. Gets it neutral against Chicago. Stromboli earning himself some good field positioning, but Kinsey not quite there. He'll win a challenge on the far side. Can they use this positioning now? Chicago out of goal will have no problem denying that. Drees sets it up in the midfield and then chases it down himself. G2 coming looking for the security again.
Stromboli actually had something there. I mean, they had that transition, Alraz with the pass, and that was right when Kinsey turned off the play, and then they recovered the ball, and then Alraz didn't go for the bump on the goal line to give the clean shot attempt, and it's just like, oh no. They break down back the other side, trying to hold on to possession. Alraz just can't quite get a good angle. JNabs has him crushed in that department, right through him, and quick transition.
Also, if you look behind Chicago, he's got a cardboard cutout. If I'm not mistaken, that's G2 Ocelot, the owner of the
believe so,
org.
yes.
Channeling tons of G2 energy here in this win.
It's been the staple of his living arrangement for a little bit, and to be honest, I think he just likes the laughs it draws from everybody.
It does draw some laughs. He got some out of me. I don't know how I hadn't noticed that before. Shadow now. Into this corner with 30 seconds left. Stromboli have done their best. They have found a few mistakes. They have forced a few mistakes out of G2 to get some goals, but can't hunker down on defense enough and deal with the onslaught, the barrage from G2, who put up 12 shots in this game. 15 seconds left right now, and a 2-goal lead G2 is able to enjoy. As the clock expires, it will be the 3-0 sweep of Stromboli. They'll have to defend their honor in the lower knockout gauntlet here as G2 go through 3-0.
It's like this, watching this series kind of feels like if you ever watch like a computer chess engine play against somebody who's like okay at chess, like they're pretty good, but like obviously they're not going to beat the computer. It's like, it's just this brute force efficiency that like G2 played with this offense. It's just like, all right, this is the optimal move. I'm doing it every time, and I'm just going to consistently test you. And if you mess up once, now you're out of position and you're toast.
Man, Stromboli, kind of sort of good at chess, but that won't cut it around here. You gotta be a computer. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It could have been also a rough series. Again, I want to point out the success that this team had in their group stage, going 3-1, tying KC Pioneers and taking the second seed out of that group, beating teams like Version 1. But it's they will definitely, that is the first step on a long journey to success in the RLCSX. So this one, not a tournament-ending series, but it could possibly just be a slight stutter. We'll see how they do in the lower gauntlet.
But I'm optimistic for Stromboli, right? It's like, it's not like they came out here and got absolutely blown out of the water. It's just like, okay, you just need a little more time to really develop, and I'm looking forward to Stromboli going forward through future seasons and the rest of this split as well.
We'll see, and they drop to the lower. They will play the winner of Rogue versus E United. E United currently up a game in that series, so maybe check the other streams to see how that one's going. Rogue maybe getting upset early here in our second regional event. But meanwhile, here on the main broadcast, we got Team Envy taking on FaZe, a highlight banner matchup that'll be happening right here after the break.